All right, Rob G. A tough topic to talk about right now.
To say the least.
Yeah, Matt Araiza, the punter for the Buffalo Bills, just drafted. They call him the punt god. He's one of the best punting prospects in years. And so good that the Bills just cut their long-term punter and decided they were going to go with him. And lo and behold, a lot of something comes out about him and two other teammates allegedly gang raping a 17-year-old girl last year when they were students at San Diego State. Now, she was 17. That's under the age of consent,
right,
in California. So it was, in that case, statutory rape. And the NFL, because of the new collective bargaining agreement, right, they cannot punish him because of something that happened before he got to the NFL, right?
Correct.
A lot of people, I said it myself, well, what about Terrell Pryor? Remember with the tattoos, and because they gave away some or sold some of their memorabilia,
pants,
from Ohio State, and the league, the NFL punished them. But they've changed the rules. The Players Association fought to change that, and obviously it worked. But there are a lot of sides to this story. I will say this. I think, look, you got to investigate it. Because, I mean, it's you got to investigate it, right? You can't just assume it's true no matter how much you might want to. And Rob, you remember this. You were producing these shows. Rob Parker and I said the same thing about Deshaun Watson.
Yes, you did.
We didn't jump to the conclusion that, oh, he's guilty. We automatically believe the women. But as the numbers of women kept going up and up and up.
All with similar stories.
Yeah. And some women who weren't even in the lawsuit.
Right.
But who had given massages to Deshaun were coming out with the same story. Just sharing it because they felt it was important, even though they didn't want anything. And so that's when it began to be hard to believe him. Circumstantial evidence, and we do that all the time. Barry Bonds never tested positive, but circumstantial evidence says bruh was doing something.
Right.
All right. So it is what it is. So you investigate, but if they find out, even if he's not able to be charged, and even if the NFL can't do anything about it, if they find out this is true, this is real, the Buffalo Bills should render some type of punishment. If they find out it's true or reasonably, beyond a reasonable doubt that it's true. I think they can suspend him, cut him, whatever. We would see what it would be. But I think just because the league as a whole couldn't take it into his hands doesn't mean the Buffalo Bills can't.
Sure. And I'll actually take it a step further. I think they should do something now because according to multiple reports, they've known about these allegations for about a month now.
Since July.
Yes, since the end of July. And even still, he was in a competition in camp with last season's punter. They cut that punter on Monday, giving the job to Araiza, basically. And they have contributed to the punt god moniker that has made him so popular, not only in Buffalo, but on social media as a whole, because it's kind of a clever nickname. And so if you know that these allegations are out there, and if anyone in America has not listening, go check out the LA Times article.
Yeah.
It's very descriptive.
It's ugly.
It is ugly, but it tells you exactly what is being alleged, exactly what the police report process is looking like right now. And there are some details in there that I promise will make you uncomfortable, whether you believe it or not, just because the thought of it makes you uncomfortable. So if you're the Buffalo Bills, I know the NFL can't do anything. But one thing you can do is not encourage him. And right now, knowing that this is hanging over his head, why do you cut last season's punter now? Why do you continue to put out on social media, look at the punt god, did it again? And now, up until a couple hours ago, he flew to with the team to participate in tonight's preseason game. And it wasn't until a couple of hours ago where they said, you know what, he's not going to play while this is ongoing. Well, this has been ongoing for a month, and he was playing. So why wouldn't you, if the NFL can't do anything, I don't know if you can try to suspend him, try to their version of commissioner exempt, where he's going to make him inactive, and let them fight it out with the NFLPA, but say, you know what, there are certain things that we're just not going to sweep under the rug. And we've seen this now a few times in the NFL. If your talent warrants it, they'll look past damn near anything. And because, like you said, this kid might be the greatest punter prospect in like a decade, they're going to, they try to be quiet about it for the most part, it seems like.
Well, you got to the crux of the matter. And the crux of the matter is that the league, it really doesn't care until it becomes a PR problem. Ray Rice, 2 games, became a PR problem. Everything changes, right? Deshaun Watson, you couldn't avoid that. It was so many women. It became a PR problem.
Right.
All right. Kareem Hunt, the Chiefs cut him, but there was a tape out there.
Yes.
You had to do something with that. Tyreek Hill, right?
Nothing even happened with him, actually.
There was no video. There was audio.
There was audio.
No video. And so we've seen time and time again, and unless it becomes a PR nightmare, the league is not likely to do something. At least not anything you might feel like was warranted, like a punishment that was severe enough.
Right.
And now this is becoming a big thing. And I think one of the reasons it's becoming so huge, obviously, it's just a heinous a crime that's was alleged.
This whole situation is ugly, yeah.
Right. But it also is on the heels of the Deshaun Watson situation. And a lot of people are out there saying, well, hold up. Deshaun got 11 games.
Right. And
look at what this guy did. And Deshaun's number of women was way more. But what this guy did, and some people are like, okay, whether or not he had consensual sex with her or not. Because she says what? The drink she got was spiked, right?
Yes, correct.
And then they had sex, and then he took her into a room, and the other teammates had sex with her.
Which is why
raped
the other
her. They said they raped her for an hour and a half.
Yeah, that's why
it's crazy.
The other teammates are the ones who are involved in the criminal investigation. According to the LA Times, Araiza is not involved in the criminal investigation yet.
Here's my thing, though. If he indeed did basically throw her to the wolves. Right? Put her in there, drunk, half passed out, and with these dudes, you can't get off scot-free.
Sure.
I'm sorry. You can't get off scot-free. Aiding and abetting? Accomplice? Right? I mean, come on. And for all, because look, we're not just believing the girl, we're just saying, we're pointing out what so far is being alleged. And there are a lot of guys, and Rob G, I don't know if you've got this, man, I have talked to a lot of guys who think Deshaun Watson has gotten railroaded.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
A lot of people.
I've talked to more who are on his side than are on the women's side.
Mine's like 50-50, but yes, it is a lot.
Right? It's a lot. And mine is more. I would say, and I'm all for justice. We had a great caller who had 3 daughters and 3 sons, and he says, I'd hate for if this was alleged of my sons that everybody just automatically assumed they were guilty. And I'd hate that people, if they automatically, assume my daughters were lying, right? So you want to try to, I want to try to be in the middle until we see what the truth is. But I would say to guys that just brush it off as boys being boys and all this, just think of your daughter. It shouldn't take this, but unfortunately sometimes it does. Think of your daughter. Think of your sister in a situation like that. If you want to say, well, shoot, high school girl, what was she doing at a college party? She was with him. She was with this 20-year-old guy. Did that mean she deserved what's alleged to have happened? Right?
Yep.
Even if she may have used some poor judgment, does that mean you deserve what's alleged to have happened? No. And so, look, with how hard they came down on Deshaun, Rob, if this is true, if the evidence supports this, something has to be done. Whether it's on the Bills or you can't not do something. Now you're coming off of going so hard at Deshaun. And I got to be honest, man, a lot of people pointed out, but the whole Daniel Snyder Washington Commanders thing don't sit well with me either.
Yeah, and yes, if this turns out to be true, obviously there should be some harsh punishment. I'm assuming he'd be out of the league entirely and never coming back. But like I said before, I think the Buffalo Bills need to be proactive in this situation. And I know that the line is, he's innocent until proven guilty, and that's fine. That's why I say put him on the practice squad, whatever. I don't know what they can do, but they can do something. And this idea, which I agree with you, that they'll put up with a lot of stuff, especially if you're talented. If you're a good player, we're going to turn the other cheek a lot of different ways. This dude's a rookie punter. Like, he could be the greatest punter. The greatest punter in NFL history, I promise you, is not worth the PR nightmare that you're going to go through with this guy right now.
Absolutely. You're right. He was a 6th-round draft pick. All right. And again, even if he was a quarterback, it still shouldn't matter. But you're right. The 6th-round pick, a punter, I don't care if he's 2 times better than Ray Guy. All right. It still doesn't matter. How should the league and the Buffalo Bills handle Matt Araiza?
Well, Chris, before we get to the calls, we do have a statement from Matt Araiza. Just came out within the last minute or two, according to the NFL Network. This is his statement, quote, "The facts of the incident are not what they are portrayed in the lawsuit or in the press. I look forward to quickly setting the record straight." So it is important that we get his side out there, even, but let's keep it moving. All right.
Deshaun said something similar.
He did. And then he apologized and he said, "I didn't do anything wrong." So I don't know what you're apologizing for. But in any event, got calls here on hold. Let's get right to it. Hank is in Virginia. Hank, you're on the Odd Couple. What you got?
Gentlemen, I want to make sure I heard this correctly. Y'all said that perhaps this guy should be suspended from the league for the rest of his life. I think one of y'all said that, right? Do you really believe that?
No, I don't think either one of us said that. Unless it's guilty, right? Isn't that what we said, Chris?
You said he should be. You think he could be out of the league
for life?
Yeah, if this is true, yeah. If he gets found guilty,
okay, but you didn't say the if before. So okay, the reason why I said this is because I want to point this out. Zeke Elliott got 6 games for kind of roughing somebody up, right?
Right.
He got 6 games. I'm a Cowboys fan, so I know these things. And then for y'all to say that they came down hard on Deshaun Watson, really? So this kid probably can't pay everybody off, let's say $1 million apiece for 24 women, right? Because let's be real about this, guys. Deshaun Watson did stuff that would have gotten people who are going to call this station locked up in jail without bond. And you know how I know it would happen to him? Because it just happened to a guy here locally where I'm at. He was working in a massage parlor. Now he's under arrest. But anyway, look, is there any culpability for
So
DeMar
what are you?
Smith?
You're kind of in different places. You're saying I think you're saying we would be, or at least Rob G's statement was too harsh on Matt Araiza. I don't know what you think about the Ezekiel Elliott thing, but you think that Deshaun got off easy.
He got off light. Oh, absolutely.
Deshaun was terrible because of the number of women and what he did. But what this guy did, just incident versus incident, Deshaun's was worse because of the numbers. This guy's was rape and led to a gang rape. If it's true. I'm not saying it is. If.
See, you're not letting me respond. And here's the situation. What was he, 20? Right?
Yes.
And she's 17. And this is an isolated, maybe, let's say it happened. And I ain't down for it or whatever. But these things happen when you mix alcohol and youth. Deshaun Watson was a predator partner.
He put her in the room with, he allegedly put her in the room with predators.
Hey, man, I don't know. I ain't heard the story because I ain't looked it up. But it's sure.
Well, you can't be. You can't be commenting when you don't even know the story.
Exactly.
Stop it.
So
we gave him too much time anyway.
By that logic, then, I mean, we don't know if Henry Rugg had driven drunk more than once, but he did kill somebody. But it was just that one time.
Right.
So maybe we should give him the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, there are degrees, right? And this is not to, y'all know how we came on Deshaun. So,
yes.
We thought he needed to be punished severely. Okay? But there are degrees to things.
Yes.
And what happened to this girl allegedly at San Diego State was worse than what happened in some of those massage sessions.
It's horrible that we even have to make that comparison.
I know, I hate to even say that, but there are degrees to things.
Right. All right, let's keep it moving. We got one more call here. Andre in San Antonio. Andre, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What you got?
Hey, guys. How are you? Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Yep.
I appreciate you. I enjoy your show. Every time I go from work, I'm driving about 55 minutes, so I was listening to you all the time. So I'm from Poland originally. I was Olympian for Poland in modern pentathlon. And when you broke this news today about that young lady, I wasn't a witness, but that happened back in 80s. Very similar situation. And all they did, they basically sweep it under the rug, and nobody got hurt, nobody got suspended, nobody got exposed. And the poor young lady got messed up mind for a very long time.
Well, look at what we had. Look at what we had in the United States gymnastics.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, that's it.
Look at Michigan State. This stuff has been brushed under the rug.
Yep.
All right. Terrible stuff. Heck, look at Penn State with, what was his name with Joe Paterno?
Sandusky.
Jerry Sandusky.
Sandusky. Yep.
So this stuff people have let some things go along that just shouldn't be. And so, again, I don't know what's true in this, but we'll see.
But you see, I think that's young boys thinking they're untouchable, and that's the problem.
Right.
You know?
Thank you for the
call. And until we don't know for sure if he did it or not.
Right.
We're just,
We're
if
not
he did. But
saying he's guilty.
To the overall point that he was making about it being swept under the rug, and I think that's my biggest problem with the Buffalo Bills in the situation, is they tried to. They did not do anything. They encouraged him. They were pumping him up.
Right.
They were letting people know how great he was for a month while they knew this was out there.
Even as they knew
exactly
he was underage.
Exactly.
And look, it's 2017. We've seen, 18, 17. The law is the law. The law is the law.